Alright, today's lesson's on divide. Steps that are going to be very important for you to follow in order for you to get these right every single time. Again, we do have the sleeping dog there as far as the negative, negative, and positive. That lets you remember if the answer is going to be negative or positive. First step is put your problem into a house. That is your little division right here. We're going to have a number inside of it, and then we're going to have a number on the other side of it. Our first number, meaning our numerator, is going to go inside of there, and then our second number is going to be outside of it. Okay? So just like a fraction will be too, the numerator is on the inside of it, and the denominator is on the outside of it. The number at the door has to be a whole number, and we're going to go ahead and move our decimal outside to the right. Whatever we move our number outside, our decimal outside to the right, we have to do the same on the inside. Okay? So let's go ahead and do some examples here for you can kind of see what that is. If you don't have this copied down yet, make sure you pause the video. Okay. So number one here, 23.8 divided by 7. So the first part is my first number is going to go inside of my house here. So 23.8. Second number is going to go on the outside. Now, as long as my second number here, or my number outside of the house at the door here, is a whole number, I don't have to move any decimal points. So in this problem, I'm not going to move any decimal points. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my decimal point up here so I remember to include in my answer. So 7 goes into 23 3 times. Okay. Bring down my 8. 7 goes into 28 4. So 7 goes into 23.8 3.4 times. Okay. Now if I want to go ahead and check that to see if I got it right, I could do the opposite of my division, which is going to be multiplication. So in this case, I would go ahead and do 7 times 3.4. Okay. I go ahead and move my decimal place over here once. I'll go ahead and do, should have put my 7 right there. So it's like 7 times 34. 4 times 7 is 8. It's 28. And then our 3 times 7 is 21. It's 23. Move my decimal place back over once. 23 point out exactly what I got in there. Okay. So that's just a way to check just to make sure. Okay. Let's look at number 2. Our first number goes inside of our house here. So 40.32. Our second number goes on the outside here, so 0.8. Alright, and it is a negative. So I'm going to go ahead and do a sleeping dog here. I have one negative, one positive, so I know my answer is going to be negative. So in this case, I want a whole number on the outside of here. So in order to make it a whole number, I'm going to move my decimal place over to the right once. Because I moved it over to the right once, whatever I do outside here, I have to do inside here. So once here, once here. I'm going to put my decimal place up top there just to remind me it's in the right spot. Now I'm dealing with 8 gets divided into 40 5 times. Bring down my 3. 8 cannot go into 3, so a 0 placeholder gets put there. Bring down my 2. 8 goes into 32 4 times. And I get an answer of 50.4. So again, if I want to check that just to make sure I can, 50.4 would turn into 504, and then 0.8 would turn into 8 there. And then we go ahead and multiply those out. 41, no, that's not right. I'm going to go here, 32, and it's multiplied by 0. Oops, so that's be 3. Sorry. And then 40 there. Let's try that again. 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 0 is 0, and then plus 3. And then 8 times 5 is 40. Since I moved my decimal place over twice, once with the 50 and once with the 8, I move back over twice and I get 40.32. So yes, it does work. And again, my answer is negative because it's a positive divided by a negative. Okay. 3. First number goes inside there, so 45.5. Second number goes on the outside, 0.25. Number on the outside always has to be a whole number. So I move it over twice to get it to a whole number, which means I have to move this one over twice to get it to a whole number. Notice how I have nothing there, so I need to put a 0 there as a place value holder. I'm going to bring my decimal point then up. Now 25 goes into 45 once. 25 goes into 205 8 times. Bring down the 0. 25 goes into 50 twice. Alright, and I get an answer of 182. Okay? And it is a positive 182 because it's a negative divided by a negative. I can do this just to check to make sure, but I do get a positive answer. Alright, so you have a few to try for your own. Okay, make sure you follow all the steps up there, even if it's confusing to you. Just make sure you go ahead and follow them. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and pause your video, try those out. Let's see how you did. Okay. All right. So our first problem, 0.18 divided by 0.002. I had to move the decimal place over 3 times. So whatever I do on the outside, I have to do the inside. Gives me an answer of 90. Number 2. 0.87 divided by -3. This was already a whole number right here, so I didn't have to move a decimal point anywhere, and I got an answer of -0.29. Number 3, 426 divided by 0.12. My 0.12, to get it to a whole number, I had to move the decimal place over twice, which is exactly what I had to do on the inside, and brought it up, giving me an answer of 3,550. And then lastly, we had to go ahead and do an average for you. So you went ahead and added them all up. All the laps should have been 91.5 by 5. You did not have to move over the decimal place at all. So you go ahead and just divide straight into it, and you get an average of 18.3 seconds.